Good morning, YouTubers. Maggie Me here again. It's been a long time since I've been on, but I just fancy coming on this morning and chatting. The reason I wanted to come on this morning was just this memory flashed to me, and I thought I don't know if I've spoke about this on YouTube, no eBay, on YouTube, and I'll tell you what it was. It's a story where I live in a wee ex-mining village, and just about 6 mile away from the village is another tiny wee village, and there's a bing, and it's a slag bing, and it is massive. But as you drive past it, it's only the length of maybe, I don't know, 500 yards, maybe 1,000 yards, right? So one day, my friend and I were driving home for air, and we decided to have a wee walk. So we drew in at the bottom of the slag bing, and we decided to walk round it. Of course, I'm a larger person and I'm not too good at walking, but I thought if it's only 1,000 yards or something like that, then that's absolutely no problem. So anyway, her and I think my daughter was with us. She was a wee girl at the time. And we got out the car, we parked the car, and off we went. Now we started walking, and seemed a long time till we got to just the beginning of the bing as you start to go round the back where the River Doon run along the back. Anyway, we were walking there, and the place got absolutely deathly quiet. I never experienced anything like it in my life. And it was a nice day, a nice sunny day, and we couldn't even hear the cars on the road, we couldn't hear the birds, nothing. And when I say the River Doon was silent, it was silent. I don't know whether it's overly deep at the back of the bing, but it was black. I mean, the river was black, and it didn't even look as though it was running. Anyway, as we started to walk on, as I said to you, it got absolutely deathly quiet. And my friend, she smoked at the time, and she stopped to light a cigarette, and my wee lassie was running about just lifting wee bits of slag here and there, and I felt horrible. I can't explain it. I felt scared, extremely scared. And I know what panic is because I've been bothered with panic attacks all my life. It was not a panic attack coming on. I just felt scared. So as we walked on, I started to walk a wee bit quicker because something told me you shouldn't be here. And I don't know why, but anyway, something told me that. And my friend's saying to me, what's wrong? I says, come on, we'll just go on. I need to get home now. I wouldn't want a cup of tea or something. And we'd only a wee small bottle of water with us. And the heat trap at the back of this bing was phenomenal. It was too warm. I'm a big woman, she was a big woman, and we were walking, and I says, have you any water? By this I was starting to feel nervous, and I cannot explain it. And even my daughter said to me, Mum, listen. And we listened, and it was total silence, like I had never heard it before. So my wee girl ran out, and she was throwing pebbles into the water, and they were virtually no making a noise. It was just plop, plop, plop. I says, why is there no any birds or that? To my friend, she says, I don't know. She says, it's very strange feeling around here. And then, out the blue, I started to feel as though I was surrounded by lots of people. I felt I couldn't breathe. I felt, and my friend saying to me, Margaret, you okay? You alright? There was nothing she could do. She could hardly carry me from behind the bing. Anyway, we walked on, and this feeling of people being round about me was getting suffocating, that's the word. And I imagined these people in grey overalls just squeezing, as though they were squeezing the life out of me. And my wee girl didn't understand either. But anyway, we walked on, and my heart started to palpitate, which I've been bothered with all my life, but my heart started to palpitate quite severely. And I held on to my friend's arm. She was really getting really paranoid of whether I was going to collapse or no. Anyway, by this time, we had now got to the other end of the Bing, but we still had the 1,000 yards to walk back to the car in the front. But the point is, it was on the roadside, which meant there was seemed to be fresh air and that. So as we got to the top point, I started crying. Now, for no reason. I mean, I was happy. Nothing was bothering me. And I started greeting, as we say in this part of Scotland. I started greeting. And I great until I could hardly get a gasp. And as we were walking on, we come to the corner at the top. As we turned the corner, it was only maybe 30 yards to the fence, and then we had the 1,000 yards back to the car. When I turned the corner and I saw the main road with lorries and buses and cars and taxis fleeing by, the feeling just lifted. And it lifted like something I can't explain, but the feeling just lifted completely off my shoulders. I was back to being me, a good mood, all happy to feel the ground moving, the birds singing, people shouting up at the old brickwork, kids playing in their bikes along the wee row of houses at the other end of the thing. Everything was absolutely fine, and I mean fine. So I felt a bit foolish, but we walked on to the edge of the road, and by this I was feeling as though I could have walked up Mount Everest. And long story short, we walked back to the car, and I was getting a nice breeze off the road and things like that, and we got back into the car and I came home. Now, my friend phoned me later on that night and said to me, I didn't like saying to you, but there was something, I felt something as well, not just you. I felt something also. And it absolutely scared the wits out of me. Really scared the wits out of me. But anyway, you maybe see a wee glitch in the thing there. Somebody was at my door. Anyway, as I say, we get back into the car and we come home, and she phoned me. And she phoned me that night and she says, Margaret, I didn't want to tell you, but you went a deathly colour, a grey, no white, no, nothing like that. You went an awful colour, a grey. And she says, every time I looked at you, your eyes looked as though they were jumping back and forth and back and forth. And she says, I didn't like to tell you, but I was absolutely terrified. And she says, I didn't obviously want to let you ken, so I tried to be like the big woman and come on. But she says, as long as I live, and sorry to say she's gone now, she died in 2011, but she says, I will never, as long as I live, go around the back of the slag bin at Waterside ever again, as long as I live. And hey-ho, neither have I. And hey-ho, neither is my wee lassie. My wee lassie didn't sense anything, although she knew it was quiet. But as I say, it affected me greatly. Anyway, no long after that, I went and spoke to my dad, because my dad was the manager of the Waterside Brickworks, and he was there when the men had took the slag fed deep under the ground and took what they needed out it, the iron out it or whatever, and put the slag over in the heap. And he said what it was during the war there was a lot of Polish prisoners of war that were captured, and that's where they worked. And the fact that they worked there, and probably a few of them lost their life there, it just was absolutely... So he says, I don't know if you maybe went a wee bit back in time to during the war. I don't know. But all I'm telling you is I was scared out of my wits. But that's a wee story that I don't know if I've already told you on here. Forgive me if I double up in my stories, because I've been... I mean, things happen to me now that I've never noticed before. I do a lot of research into the paranormal and entities and poltergeists and what can make things move and how you can detect them in your house and things like that. And the more I watch, the more I'm starting to see things out the side of my eyes. Now, at the moment I see nothing, absolutely nothing. But I've seen me sitting on the couch, and just for that split moment, I see to my left hand side maybe a slight black slip, going by. Now, before, I was never conscious of these things happening to me. But since I've looked into it and I've been like looking up about it and reading about it and whatnot, I've realised that maybe there's another dimension, maybe there's another realm, maybe there's another world, maybe we're overlapping, or as my son says, a glitch in the matrix, which I don't really kind of tell you anything about that because I'm not sure about that. But I am starting to see things now that I never seen before. And let me just quickly tell you this. I'm sitting at my window having a cup of tea the other day there, about a month or two ago, and there's a wee man, with kind of bow legs, and he's a bike, and he works at a local garage, and he goes by my house, see every morning going to do what he does at the garage, and he's been loyal there for he left the school. Anyway, I sees him going by. Now, I just see the top of his head in the bike, and I'm looking out the window, I can lift my head like that to look out the window, and I saw him going by, and he stopped, and he bent down, and he done something with his shoe, and then he pushed on the bike. Now, 9 times out of 10, he's got something cooked onto the end of the bike, a pram or something like that. Just likes gathering bits and pieces. Anyway, he goes on by. So I goes on sipping my tea and watching my programme. And within maybe a minute to 2 minutes, out the corner of my eye, I saw something again. So I know he'd do it again to see who it was. And it was the same guy. And he done the exact same thing as he done 2 minutes before. Now, I'm no lying to you or anything, and I cannot explain that. I cannot explain that. He went down, he tied his shoe, and I'm sitting on my couch kind of like this, looking out the window, and I felt the hair, what hair I've got, on the back of my neck standing in the end. I felt, I don't know, just a cold shiver went down me. Anyway, what I'm saying is, say he could have whipped back by my window and then come back and done the same again. I mean, it was maybe nothing, but the point was I saw him twice doing the exact same thing. And just quickly while I'm on it, there's also a woman who goes by every day to do her shopping, and she's always a carrier bag over her ear, and off she goes on by, a wee local woman, and she whipped by the house, but at the same time she whipped by the house, and I'm looking out the window watching her going by, and I could see another vision of her a few inches behind herself. And I don't do drugs or anything like that, so I'm not a drinker, I don't smoke, but there was a second her following her. So if one can help me out with what it is I'm seeing, or am I going bananas or whatever. But that's my story for the day. It's been quite a long one. There was a wee glitch in my thing because I had to go and answer the door, so I hope it's alright. But anyway, now that I'm back on and running, and I'll speak to you really soon. Okay, thanks for listening. Remember, subscribe, like my video, and that'll keep me happy. Okay, see you soon. See you later, Caroline. I'm still coming to see your news. Right, bye.